Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Luke Kuechly in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. And a look at the offense that is hoping to put some points up in bunches here in this one. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Third and long. It's Wilson. Complete over the middle to Hardy. They get only 4 that time as that leads Hutz to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
Cam has all the skills that you're looking for. The arm that can do everything. The ability to run, hard to bring down because of his size. But the joy that he plays the game, I think that's his stock in trade. That's his calling card. That's what sets him apart from other players.
Newton on first down. He completes it to Peak. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. They're calling a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
To me, there's nothing like watching rookie effort in the NFL. So excited to be there. They're going to give you the max on each and every play, aren't they?
Well, he proved himself on that catch, that's for sure.
I think he may have proved himself to the point where he's going to get a second year.
Here's Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And on to the field, here come the Panthers. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the field.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Bucs. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. We get a glance at the Buccaneer defense as they file into position. They go play action here on first down. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Noah Spence in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Second down, sacked by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see. Time running out here on the play clock. Here's Newton. He gets it here to Peak. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. And Cam Newton's not coming off the field. He'll keep the offense out to go for it on 4th.
Hey, you got 3, got 3. Ball. Slam. Hey, check.
They are going to go for it. It's Newton. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter, and they've got it here with a 1st down. They run again with a J. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point in the game.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Corey Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
7 yards to go on second down. To throw on second down is Newton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the offense needs 7 out of this play on third down. They'll come out in the pistol. Throwing on third down, Newton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see it.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Panthers defense, they make their way back out there now. They have to recover a little bit. Last time, they couldn't stop the run. They really couldn't stop the pass either.
And it wasn't just physically. It's mentally, because the offense appears to be a step ahead of them. No matter what they call, it's working. They got to get something figured out. And usually, you need a big play to get things turned around.
They gave up the touchdown on that balance attack last drive. Now this drive. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On second down, Wilson over the middle here to Coates. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. 2nd and just 1. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Shift together here from the D-line. On second down, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And you would have to think an obvious passing situation here on 3rd and 9. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 3rd down, Wilson surveying the field. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Oh, here we go. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. 20. Kill.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Finding time. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught at the 20. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and set.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers have got it back to a 1-score game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Tampa Bay first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the deep.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Single slot.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. And this score will stay right where it is. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Now they'll run it on the toss. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up the scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. 3rd down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it really well and picked up a 1st down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Newton. He's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Another pistol look here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
To throw on second down is Newton. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They come up in an offset eye. Now Newton on first down. That's caught at the 2. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. At the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going? And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down.
5 defensive backs. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down. Here's Brian Anger now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Sliding out of the pocket, and he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Gerald McCoy in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
From his goal line here, Newton. A bullet throw, but incomplete. And we're back now in Charlotte. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Here's the Panthers punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here of 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On second down, Wilson out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll lead here to a third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of it.
And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Where they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And the offense can string something together, but they'll need to do it quickly here to try to get points on the board and win this game. Throwing on third down, Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. They come out here in the I. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, He's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he gets it down to the 32. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to roam now. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
So they're operating in the red zone. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So just about a minute to go here, tie ball game.
As fans, we love free football. But the guys in the field don't. They're going to attack and go for the win right now.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll get him down. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Brandon, that's climbing the hill. And not only climbing it, but finally getting to the top and over. What a comeback.
What a comeback indeed. I mean, Charles, that was a 3-score deficit at one point that they were facing.
And let's face it, many times teams in that situation, they pretty much pack it in for the game.
So that one a long 11-play drive. And Carolina scores to cap it off. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now they're in the hurry-up. And 26 seconds now as the spike comes in. So here's 3rd and 20, and with a long yardage, defense going with a nickel look. Back to throw. He's got time. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Sammy Coates, the intended target there. And it's 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
And that play was what every defense is wary of. The big strike attempted downfield, but they were in excellent position. They didn't get fooled, and while he didn't come up with the interception, was able to bat the ball down.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. He'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed him. Instead, 2nd down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
1 receiver left, 3 to the right. 1 last shot for Wilson. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
Let's go. Great pick. Good job. That was a great pick. Good job, guys.
Turn up. I'm breaking in. I'm at the pearly gates.